Yeah, hello everyone. So now today we'll discuss about the embedded systems, application and domain specific. As I told you in the previous class, many of the embedded systems are designed for only for the specific purpose, as like the examples are given, like washing machine, or our oven, or our smart TV, whatever the electronic devices, most of the electronic devices, whatever it has been designed for, it is all designed only for the specific purpose, right? Okay, with this aspect, let me go ahead with these things, how actually it has been used for the application and the domain specific, and it is a domain specific. Now, when I go with this application and domain specific, they are especially built for certain application in certain domains like consumer electronics, telecom, automotive, industrial control, and etc. Now, as I told you in the previous class, the difference between a general purpose and an embedded system. A general purpose is something like a computing system with another system which is closely matching with existing system. Okay, but in case of this embedded system is used only for the specialized purpose, only for specific application we are going to use. Now coming to the working principle of this washing machine, I hope we all have the washing machine in your house. Almost all we have that. We have used that washing machine also. Now what exactly this washing machine consists of? See, washing machine consists of several things which is embedded in an embedded system itself, like your sensors, actuators, control unit, and application specific user interface, like keyboards, display units, and all. Now coming to this sensor, what I mean by a sensor is that a sensor will just sense how much is the water level, what is the temperature of that water, how much heat I should give to that water in order to have some certain temperature like 30 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius, whatever it is. I want to set some temperature and all. So all these things will be maintained or will be controlled by the sensors. So it will check what is the level of the water level in the washing machine, and also it will check what is the temperature in the washing machine of the water in the washing machine. Similarly, what do you mean by actuator? We have discussed what do you mean by actuator in the previous class. So actuator in this case of washing machine, based on the input given to this actuator will actually rotate the motor. Okay, so it will consist of a motorized agitator, tumble tub, water drawing pump, and inlet valve. So these are the many kind of activities will be done or will be performed in the washing machine. Like I want to run the motor of the washing machine, I want to run the tumble tub, and I want to draw the water from the inlet wall. So these are all the some few activities where this washing machine will be doing. So all these activities will be performed based on the things whatever I set in the washing machine. Now, as I told, what I mean by sensor, a sensor consists of actually the water temperature sensor and the level sensor. Now the next important thing is the control part. Now what is this control part is? Control part contains a microprocessor, and as well as it contains as control based board which interfaces to sensors and actuators. So we have seen that washing machine is an embedded system. Without an embedded or the microcontroller or the microprocessor, we cannot do anything in this washing machine. So that means your washing machine is totally controlled by your microcontroller based board. Okay. Now, what exactly the sensor will do is that the sensor data, whatever the sensor senses, the sensor will sense that data is fed back to the control unit, and the control unit generates the necessary actuator outputs. For example, now my sensor wants to check my water level. If that water level is little less to the threshold level, then it gives an input to the control unit that the water level is little less. So what this control unit will do is that it will send a signal to an actuator where it will draw the water from the inlet valve. Now this is what actually happening in the sensors and the actuator inside a washing machine. Now we have some few thing like control unit also provides connectivity to the user interface like keypad for setting the washing machine time. We have observed that nowadays we have some few keypads on the washing machine like sensor keypads can also be there, touch keypads can also be there, non-touch keypads can also be there, right? And all these are used for controlling the things like okay if you want to wash the cloths like light cloths, medium cloths, or the heavy duty cloths and so on, so all these options can I can set it by using those microcontroller board or the display whatever we have on the washing machine. Next, so this user feedback is reflected through the display unit. Whatever the things I set in the washing machine that will be displayed on the display unit, that will be done by LEDs and all, right? Now this is the function, this is the functional block diagram of the washing machine. So you can see here, now this is the whole washing machine. You can see this is the knob in order to set the heavy duty light cloths, medium cloths, woolen cloths and so on. This is the display unit I'll be getting, right? So now what I do is that this is what the display unit, whatever I am seeing here, that actually mean by this LED, 7 segment LED display, right? So now this is actually the washing machine. So inside this, we have some tub that is called as, the two types of tub are there. So the inner cylindrical thing we call it as inner tub. The outer cylindrical thing we call it as outer tub. And as I told, there are two sensors are there. One is the level sensor. You can see here, this is the black mark I've written. This is the level sensor, and the bottom one is the temperature sensor. All right. So now this is what the outlet or the inlet pipe for the washing machine we have, and the outlet pipe we have here. So there are several buttons will be there, or several keypad will be there in order to start the washing machine. This is the start button, right? This is the light, choosing the what type of cloths we are using, light, medium, heavy, wash, soak, and rinse. Soak and rinse are the two very important options will be given in the washing machine. Okay, this is how the timings we are going to set: 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and so on. Right. So this is the general functional diagram of a washing machine. Now, as we all know, there are two types of models in a washing machine. One is top loading, the other one is front loading. Okay, the top loading models the agiator of the machine twist back and forth. Whatever the motor we are having or the tub we are having, that will make it to rotate in back and forth direction and pulls the clock down to the bottom of the tub. Okay, on reaching the bottom of the tub, the cloths work their way back up to the top of the tub where the agiator grabs them again and repeats the mechanism. So that is what which is there on the top. It will, the cloths will go to the bottom cloths start coming upside. So that is how this agiator is going to work. Right. In the case of front loading machine, the cloths are tumbled and plunged into the water over and over again. So in this case of front loading kind of things, what we do is we simply put the cloths, close the door, and it will go on filling the water until unless it requires the minimum or the threshold level things. That is what the first phase of washing. Okay, it will just make the cloths to become wet, and it is this is the first process done by the washing machine. So in the second phase of the washing, so water is pumped out from the tub, okay, and the inner tub uses centrifugal force to wring out more water from the cloths, right? So now in the second step, what is going to happen is that the tub, whatever it is there, it will rotates very fast so that the water will goes outside. Now this is a very basic working principle of your washing machine. Okay. Now the basic control consists of the timer, cycle, selector mechanisms, water temperature selector, load size selector, and start button. So these are the some few basic controls are also given here. The actual mechanism in the washing machine includes the motor, the transmission, the clutch, pump, agiator, inner tub, outer tub, and water inlet valve. These are all the mechanisms included in the washing machine. The integrated control panel consists of a microprocessor, controller based board with input output interfaces and a control algorithm. running in it. So all these things will be controlled by a control panel, which is something like a microprocessor and a microcontroller based board, right? Which will be connected to all kinds of input output interfaces, which are all required in the washing machine. Now, the input interface includes the keyboard, which consists of wash type selector, as I told, wash, spin, and rinse, right? Okay. Now, the clock selector, whether it is light, medium, heavy duty, or washing time setting, etc. These are all the input things I'm giving for the washing machine. Now, what are all the output things is that the output things is that whatever we have set the things to the washing machine that will be displayed through that LCD display or through an LED. So that is what the output interface is. The other types of input output interfaces which are invisible to the end user are different kinds of central interfaces like water temperature sensor, water level sensors, etc. And also the actuator interface, including motor control for agitator and tub movement control, inlet water flow control, etc. Okay, so the input interfaces are whatever the input I give, either to wash, spin, rinse, or either to select my cloths light, medium, heavy, or the washing time, whatever it is. The output interface is that whatever we got display through an LCD display, that is what is called as an output interface. The third one is the input output interface, where it will show us both input interface, output interface, but it is an invisible. So that is what it is, what we call it as sensor interfaces, which will sense the water level and as well as the temperature, and also actuator interfaces, which including the control of the rotating of the motor and movement of the tub and so on, right? Okay, now this is the next one is the automotive.